Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I'm Joe Tate, and this is HeelBook Unleashed. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. It's Friday. Fridays are going to be really big for HeelBook. We're going to preview Friday Night SmackDown for the WWE and also Saturday Night Collision for AEW. So we're going to jump straight into the game. All right, we're going to start with Friday Night SmackDown. And as you guys can see, there's only actually two matches for tonight. The first one is Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. They are building this as a Game 7 situation. So we've already seen these guys lock it up 6 times, and this is going to be the 7th. I'm very curious to see where we go with this, right? So if you remember a couple days ago, we were talking about how we were being a little bit force-fed that Carmelo Hayes is kind of consistently booked high on the card. But also when we look at Andrade and his return to the WWE, it's been kind of lackluster, and I think it's because we are intertwined with this Andrade Carmelo thing, and I hope that it comes to an end tonight. The question is, where are we going? Which guy are we going with, right? So to me, Andrade's got all the tools. He's got everything you need to be a top guy in the WWE, except maybe for a little bit of a language barrier. He's not the best on the microphone anyway, but his real value is in between the ropes. Carmelo Hayes is a different story. He's really good in between the ropes. He has a lot of personality, but the people kind of love to hate him. And the size thing. We can't underestimate the effect of his size or lack thereof in the main event scene. Now, I know things are different with Triple H in charge. He doesn't mind some of the smaller guys having top spots, which is totally fine if we're basing it on merit and connection with the crowd. But to me, Andrade, Carmelo, Game 7 has to come to an end tonight, and I think Carmelo has to come out on top. When I'm thinking about who I would like to see to that next step, who would I like to see face LA Knight for the United States Championship out of Carmelo and Andrade, I go with Andrade every time. So I hope that's where we go. The next match, guys, it might happen, it might not, but let's talk about it. I think it's going to happen. We've got Los Garza. They are competing tonight against an unknown tag team in the WWE Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. Now, scuttlebutt, water cooler talk, rumor, and innuendo is that the Motor City Machine Guns are going to make their debut for the WWE tonight on SmackDown against Los Garza in order to move on in the tournament to become the #1 contenders. I'll be honest, I have not seen a lot of the Motor City Machine Guns work, although I do know they have been an ever-present, consistent presence in the indie scene, across promotions that aren't WWE. And finally, these guys are coming to the big show. I think they're going to make a splash, and I think it's going to be a great, fun match to watch. And I also am excited at where we could come out of this thing in terms of where the tag team division is going. You guys think back just a couple of years ago, we had a tag team main event the first night of WrestleMania when we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beating the Usos for the championships. That was amazing. And since then, we've been a little lacking, I think, in the tag team division. But I hope this new acquisition is a way to get us where we're going. And I'm a big tag team wrestling fan, and I know that a lot of you are too. So I hope that's where we're going, and I hope it's going to be a great match for the Motor City Machine Guns. And so while those are the only 2 matches that we have for tonight on SmackDown, I want to quickly go over the 2 bonus questions that are on tonight's show. They are linked to the matches, but have nothing to do with them. Remember, we talked about that here. For the first match, the question here, right? So Kevin Owens, at the end of Bad Blood, attacked Cody Rhodes in the parking lot. It was brutal. Now, Kevin Owens has since gone on social media and told us that he produced a video that he wanted to share with the WWE Universe on Monday, but they did not air the video. Now, Kevin Owens is saying if his video is not aired on tonight's SmackDown, then things are going to get hairy. So not only did he attack Cody Rhodes at Bad Blood, last week on SmackDown, he got very physical and attacked Randy Orton as well. Now, tonight, Randy Orton is scheduled to appear and speak. So the question is related to that. Kevin Owens attacked Randy Orton last week. Do we see these 2 guys get physical? Yes, Kevin Owens is promising a video to be aired explaining his actions. But Do you think the video is all we're going to see of Kevin tonight? Or do you think he's going to sneak in a back door and get physical with Randy Orton? That's question number one. Now, if we go to match number two, we see a new question. So Roman Reigns is scheduled to appear on tonight's SmackDown. And after the beating he and Jimmy took last week from the new bloodline, Jimmy Uso was pleading with Roman Reigns to get Jey Uso back involved in the mix. Yeet. Roman said, no yeet. Fast forward to Monday Night Raw, we see Jimmy Uso on Monday night trying to get Jey Uso to talk to him about what's going on. Now, to Jey's credit, he wanted nothing to do with it. Jey has been on a super successful streak. He has elevated himself to main event superstardom on his own with no connection to the bloodline. But if we're building to Survivor Series, to War Games, I have to believe that we are going to see some form of reconciliation between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. If we're going to get there before Survivor Series, we certainly have to start now. And that's what they did last week by Jimmy being on Raw. The question, the bloodline plot thickens. Will Jey Uso be on SmackDown tonight? Do we see Jey on Friday night for the first time in almost 6 months? Are we going to see development with that story? I think yes, and I hope yes. All right, so that does wrap up the Friday Night SmackDown preview. We're going to move straight into the AEW Collision preview. We'll go back to the game, go back to the dashboard, and look at these upcoming matches. Now we just scroll down to Collision. All right, guys, we've got a really fun one up first. We've got the returning Outrunners versus Rush and Mortos. We have Ricochet versus AR Fox. Mariah May taking on Anna Jay for the AEW Women's Championship, and Kyle Fletcher taking on Atlantis Jr. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, we'll start here. The Outrunners, they have to be one of, if not the most popular tag team on the scene right now, bar none. AEW, WWE, it doesn't matter. They are running wild and taking over everything by storm. Everyone loves them. The problem is, and the fun is, that this faction that AEW is building with Rush and Mortos and Hologram, listen, these guys are monsters and they've been being booked as monsters. So it's really difficult to decide which of these teams are going to come away with a victory. It's hard. The Outrunners are just coming back to TV. Rush and Mortos have just formed their group. This is going to be a fun one to book, and good luck to everybody playing. We're going to move on to the Kyle Fletcher versus Atlantis Jr. match. I just briefly want to talk about Kyle Fletcher. This guy is probably top 5 best wrestlers in the world today, period. And the way that they have been developing his character and his motivations within the Don Callis family. The turn on Will Ospreay last week that cost him that championship. The brooding kind of promo that we got from Kyle last week. Things are moving forward with the Don Callis family, and Kyle Fletcher is evolving. I don't think it's too far of a stretch to say that Kyle Fletcher is a half a step away from being a main event player at AEW. And I think it's important that Kyle has taken on this heel turn, or at least begun to do so. AEW is chock full of faces, people we love, wrestlers that we all know and respect, and they are good. But in order to have someone to go up against these guys and face them, we have to have credible heels across the board. I believe that Kyle Fletcher will be one of the most credible heels in the business, especially with his involvement and direction from Don Callis, a man that people just love to hate. Now let's talk a little bit about the Ricochet and AR Fox match. I think you guys should really actually sit down on your recliners or your couch or whatever it is and buckle a seatbelt, because these two guys are going to deliver a match that is going to be talked about for some time. AR Fox has had moments of brilliance throughout his AEW career, but we've not seen a consistent presence from him. And with Ricochet coming into the fold, and these guys have a very similar style, I think this match is going to be a spectacle, and I think we all might know who to book as the winner, but how to book them. What is going to be the finish, where we go, and how we get in there. That's part of the fun. Now, if we're going to talk about the AEW Women's Championship match, Mariah May versus Anna Jay. For me, Anna Jay is an AEW day one. She's an original. She's been around for some time. She's had some false starts, stops, and and pauses, but she's back now. And I find myself questioning whether Mariah May's championship run has been what the company wanted from her. Has it fallen flat? I have to say that when Toni Storm had the championship, we saw her featured in more segments. We saw her more often on the card. Mariah May, as a champion, has, for me, fallen a bit flat. Now, do I think Anna Jay is the one to take the championship tonight? Probably not. Probably not. But I don't think it's impossible. And again, it goes to how much do we know about the inner workings and bookings of Tony Khan in AEW. He may be very satisfied with Mariah May's championship run. I just know that I've not been as happy with it as I was when Toni Storm was the champion. Okay, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the Friday night and Saturday night previews for SmackDown and Collision. Before we go, I want to take you guys over to the website so you can see what we have going on over there, and you guys can go to the website anytime you want. All right, here we are, guys. HeelBook.net. Up here, you can kind of see all these things, link out to places you can follow us, engage with us. The indie section is something that we're building to showcase some of our partners. HeelBook Chronicles is going to be the space where I keep all my articles and stuff that I find interesting that I'm going to be writing about for you guys, and you can come here and check them out. And if we go home, you guys can see it right here on the front screen. This first button, you can start booking now. You hit this button, you will be taken straight to the app where you can sign up for free and start booking with us. Guys, please take advantage of this. Go to the website, click the link, sign up. It's fairly easy. It's not so hard. And I can't wait to start booking with you all. And before we go, tomorrow is the big day. Saturday, October 19th in Hesperia at the VFW Post 2924. Valor Pro Wrestling, Wicked Warfare. I'm going to be there calling the action live. We're going to have a costume contest for the kids. We're going to have free candy. It's going to be a blast, and we hope to see you there. And I also want to thank everyone who's taken the time to check out our first episode of HeelBook Universe. Myself and Andre Vex got into the studio, sat down, and had to talk about a lot of different things, and we put that up on YouTube, and you can watch that now. We certainly appreciate it, and be on the lookout for more episodes to drop in the future. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.